afternoon. Thanks for being with us tonight. I'm Chris Saldana. We are learning a lot more about one of the pilots killed in Friday's plane crash in Boulder City. A business colleague of pilot Doug Gillis sat down with us and opened up about the man known as Papa Bear. 8 News Now reporter Joe Bartels also looked into the past of this experienced pilot. Joe, what'd you find out?
Chris, that business colleague says Doug was an experienced military-trained pilot with more than 30 years of flying experience. And despite a troubled past with the FAA, he was an excellent and well-respected pilot.
His tag is, he goes by Papa Bear. And all those around him that love him call him Papa Bear.
Ron Sirota shared the same passion of flying the L-39 Czech-made fighter that Doug Gillis did. In fact, that's how the pair met.
I'm in shock. I am in shock for two reasons. One is personal, and the other is for all of the pilots and instructors.
Ron is training to fly the L-39. He's got at least 30 takeoffs under his belt. He says the Cold War era fighter can be tricky to fly. Some of the gauges are in Russian. Ron says Doug was used to it and very experienced inside the cockpit.
He was a former flight instructor for the Air Force. He flew the T-38. He's been rated by the FAA as an instructor examiner. So, I mean, he's pretty good at what he does.
Investigators were out again at the scene trying to piece together what brought the jet down. People who live nearby say the crash is on their minds.
I feel horrible for the families, and you know, one minute you're on a trip, the next minute you're just gone. So it's just really heartbreaking.
This is a risky business. Being in these aircraft, high performance, you're taking them vertical, you're doing loops.
Court paperwork shows that Doug Gillis had a troubled past with the NTSB. In 2009, his airman certification was revoked following a deadly crash in California of a similar L-29 jet. The FAA found Gillis had falsified paperwork showing he had properly trained the pilot involved in that crash. 2 people were killed, and Gillis lost his appeal. He was allowed to reapply for his license again a year later.
There are published reports from the Review Journal that the second person aboard the doomed jet was 65-year-old Richard Winslow of Palm Desert, California. We called the coroner's office and they were unable to confirm that information. The cause of the crash is under investigation by the NTSB and could take more than a year or so to determine the cause of the crash. Chris?
All right, Joe, thanks a lot. A Las Vegas-bound Allegiant flight had to